Congratulations, you guys, on Boots. This is such a special coming of age series. You all put your blood, sweat, and tears into this project, put a tremendous amount of physical work into this.
Talked it over with my dad.
I'm gonna do what he did.
The Marines?
Man needs a mission.
You need something to aim for.
Why do you want to be a Marine, Cameron?
For freedom.
What I see before me is a collection of ups, jerk-offs, and fat bodies.
I told you it was gonna be rough.
I thought that you meant like mud and some bug bite.
So what was the hardest part of the training process?
You know, I have a sort of weird answer. I think when you see the show, there are these certain elements of it that you would assume would be the extremely difficult things. And those ended up kind of being like fun when we're out on the obstacle course, like running around together. There's a scene in the first episode where Max first comes in and he has us holding our rifles at a 90-degree angle. And he has this beautiful monologue.
The enemy is not in front of you or behind you. The enemy is inside of you. 6. 90. Some of you have lived in weakness all your miserable lives.
It sort of never ends.
Dragged on.
And we were filming it all day. And we're doing these sweeping shots where it's like you're constantly on camera. So by the end of it, I mean, you can see it on screen, like our arms are trembling. And I remember leaving that day and being like, that was like the hardest thing that I've ever done. It was really hard.
Yeah, it was weirdly the simple things, the standing at attention for hours on end, marching. Those were the things that really left you at the end of the day being exhausted and sore and crabby.
It wasn't the push-ups or the pull-ups?
It was not the push-ups or the pull-ups.
No.
Because you're getting your...
have a little help.
Yeah. Well, also, yeah, we
Oh, so that's how it went down behind the scenes.
It's movie magic right there.
Were there any injuries off camera that no one knows about?
I did this underwater sequence where I'm in Guam doing a training exercise and the camera's underwater with me and getting really close. And in this like fight tumble that we have, I sort of like sliced the bottom of my toe off. So it was like healed like this. No, I just want to make it sound like
Dramatic.
Yeah, no,
Sell
it
it.
sliced it and then it was just like bandaged up and then we were like, do you want to go again? I was like, yeah. But yeah, now I've got like a cool scar.
Wow. You will carry this project with you forever. Literally a scar.
I was thinking
on your
maybe
toe.
about getting a tattoo as well, but I thought maybe that's a bit too far.
Yeah.
No, you got the scar anyway to
Yeah.
to stay with you. You guys also shave your heads for this project. What was your first reaction when you saw yourselves after shaving it?
well, when we were doing the sequence, which they kind of sprung on us also at the last minute. It was like 10 o'clock at night at the end of the day, and they were like, okay, we're gonna shave your heads.
Yeah.
But because, they couldn't do it all in one go. They had to move cameras around for different setups, different angles. So what they did is they sat us down in these chairs, they said action, they just shaved a huge chunk down the middle of your forehead. They yell cut, and they move the setup. And you're just sitting there for probably like at least half an hour, if not longer, looking like a fool.
Yes.
Like an absolute fool. So there's many pictures of us with like some real funky hairdos.
And y'all have some luscious locks. I mean, look at that flow right there. Was that hard for you to say goodbye?
It was honestly, it was the most exciting thing to do. It was the jumping off point of the show, really. It was the moment. In. Yeah, we locked in, and there was no return from that point.
Yeah.
I only know these guys looking like that really, with the whole skinhead. So like, when we were doing some press in LA recently, I was working out next to Liam for about 20 minutes until we were like, Liam? Like I didn't recognize him.
And I went, hi.
Yeah, look at all that hair. That's the beauty of hair, though. It grows back.
Yeah,
That is
certainly is.
What about you the first time you saw yourself?
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember there was this huge build up to it. It kind of felt like the pinnacle moment of the show for like at the beginning of the show. And I remember as we were getting ready to do it, I would look in the mirror and like pull my hair back, and I'm like, yeah, it looks bad. Like I'm gonna look terrible.
You look good with a shape head though.
Well, when they took it off, I think we all kind of had a moment of like, huh. kind of chic.
Did you
It's kinda
grab
nice.
your phones out and FaceTime anyone in particular to show them your new look?
Oh yeah, my mom.
I did the next day. Yeah, my mom and my sister.
Well, because my mom also like instilled in me at a young age a fear of shaving my head. She was like, I don't know if anyone is familiar with.
Yeah, because she saw what you got.
Well, dude, I don't know what it was. I think there's something about moms and like people cutting their hair, but there's a Shel Silverstein poem where it's like this. I don't know if anyone's familiar. It's like his hair was curly until he cut it all off. And he found out his head was wavy. And there's this picture of a kid with this like wrinkly ass head.
Oh.
And my mom was like, "That's what your head looks like."
Wow.
Fearmonger and
Yes,
never to
literally.
Yeah, well, the joke was on her. You have a beautiful head under there.
You too.
You guys are so sweet to each other. That brotherhood, right? It's of course one of the themes in this series. There are so many beautiful messages throughout Boots. What do you hope people feel when they watch this series?
I mean, I know for me, I think that the show sort of comes in from Cameron's point of view, and this is a gay person joining the military when it's illegal to be gay. But I think that his arc really isn't about his sexuality. He's very comfortable with who he is, and he has people around him that support him and love him. And I think the show and Cameron's story is really just about self-growth and self-discovery. And I think he's put in this place where he's forced to fail and forced to be around people that he never would have tried to connect with, just out of fear in the outside world. And what ends up happening is like when all those things sort of are put to the side and you're told, these are your brothers, this is in a life or death situation, these are the only people that you have. And so all that stuff sort of falls away and you're left with just people, and they form these beautiful connections and bonds. And I think that's typically what happens when we're able to put aside these preconceived notions about each other or our backgrounds or beliefs and just come together. And I hope that that's sort of what people take away for me. But I don't know what you guys want them to see.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Y'all leave us on quite the cliffhanger.
The Saudi government requested our help, and I responded to that request by ordering U.S. air and ground forces to deploy to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Are there conversations for a second season?
I think the characters are so well fleshed out and sort of interesting that every single character, you know, as a viewer myself, when I watched the show, there's so many moments that I didn't get to see, separate storylines from mine, that you just want to know more. I feel like the show is leading to that, and I feel like, you know, it's down to the gods.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are conversations amongst us saying, I hope we get one.
Creative team. But I do think that it's set up where these young men make this decision in a time of in peacetime, you know, when there's no conflict happening and the season ends with the beginning of a major conflict. And I think that begs the question of like the cost of the decisions that we made, and the consequences of everything that's come before it.
Y'all can't leave us with the question, will they be deployed? Not answered.
I agree.
So fingers crossed. Norman Lear, the icon Norman Lear, was a producer on this. You have a beautiful dedication to him at the end. How meaningful was it to have him a part of this project?
Norman is he has such an incredible legacy of uplifting voices that are not shown in media very often, especially when he started doing it. I mean, he truly like pioneered this at a time where it was not the norm whatsoever. And to be a part of that legacy, and especially his last show, you know, I think that we all took that very seriously. And fortunately, a lot of people that were involved in the show are extremely close with him, just beyond business, very personal friends. And I think that making sure that we did him justice was a huge part of this entire show, and I hope that we did that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's remarkable that he was 100 years old and still working on this, and he was still sharp and with it and making things happen. And I think just to have that energy and drive at that age is incredible. And you know, I think more than anything, what Norman gave us was redefining who could be the main characters of their own stories. And I think that this show exists on that continuum, and we have to kind of pay homage to everyone that came before that led us to this point.
And he was the one that sort of pushed Greg to write his memoir, which is what the show's inspired by, which I think is brilliant that he stuck with the journey and then ended up like being a part of it. So, and I know he was a big part in my casting as well. I know that I know known in America, and I had like quite a lot of rounds. And I know Greg told me that he was championing of me when he saw my audition. So obviously grateful.
That's amazing. I love that.